Hi, guys. So many of you may or may not know, I actually had the opportunity to go to the Great Exuma, Bahamas. And let me tell you, the Exuma, Bahamas was great. I mean, it was the bluest waters that you'll ever see. It was amazing. And I had to document it and basically share my experience with everybody and what it was like to be in the Exuma, Bahamas. And it was crazy because the Exuma, Bahamas is like this island that's just kind of like gotten popular over the past recent years. I'm not all the way sure why, but what I do know why, like the water is the bluest you'll ever see. Um, I mean, it's just the people are so friendly, the culture is so great, the food is so good. Like now, but it's crazy. And so I'm just gonna probably do it in a couple of like I guess videos to just kind of give you my reasons why you should go to the Exumas, Bahamas, because it is nothing like you'll ever experience. Let's start with what you see right there. Is that's me sitting out on uh I guess a formation, some type of formation. I'm assuming that it was volcanic at some point. I'm assuming that just because of the way the formation looks, but this is not Photoshop. This is a real picture of me sitting in the Exumas, Bahamas. It's actually a video of me in the Bahamas. And I had to take it because I was just so impressed with how clear and blue the water is. And so this is me, and my husband's recording me again as usual, because he's my sidekick. In the Bahamas, and like look how clear the water is. Like, look, you cannot make this up. The water is literally really that clear in the Exuma, Bahamas, and it is amazing. It is amazing, and you, it's just it's breathtaking, like to say the least. And um, the first thing I noticed is when we got there. First of all, the airport is really small, right? It's really, really, really small. So with the airport being super small, a lot of people can't get in the airport, so it's really small. And so we had to get a ride to. So they had a cab come get us to take us to our hotel. Now the cabs are very expensive, so what I would suggest you do is rent a car. Now let me tell y'all the interesting thing about renting this car. Let me go ahead and put that up there because I want y'all to see this.
I wasn't overly
We
impressed.
driving
Y'all
on the
can see
left
right
side of the
here,
road. This is
you
the
drive
funniest
on the
thing
left
ever. We
side of
can't
the
get
road
used
out here.
to it. It's
So
so weird.
Same thing
everything
you
is
just
Just
did.
did.
opposite of what we
So
do
see
in
how
the
we
States.
driving on the left?
You're
It's
driving
so
on the left-hand
weird.
side of the
It's
road over here.
crazy.
Like, it is the
It's
craziest
so
thing. So
wild.
if you can navigate that, like, it's actually pretty fun because
Oh,
it's like pretty much one road that goes through the whole duration of the island, but you drive on the left-hand side. And so if you can get yourself used to that, and it's the driver's seat is opposite as well of what we're used to as well. And so you're sitting on the same side and you're driving on the opposite, like, is the weirdest thing. And if you can get through that, and my brother was able to navigate that like amazingly, surprisingly, like I don't know how he was able to do it because I just kept thinking I was gonna screw something up. So he drove or whatever. I will tell you that the best thing to do is to rent a car because the cabs, our very first day we took taxis. It was 8 of us. It was a group of 8 of us, and we took a taxi. And for that one day with the taxi, we spent well over $100. And the reason being is because they pretty much charge you whatever they want to charge you, and you don't know any different. And so, what we paid the taxi in one day, it was like we rented a car for the same amount in one day. So we rented a car for the duration of the time we were there, and we were able to go and see a lot more, spend a lot more time doing a lot more stuff. You just can't be afraid to drive on the left hand side of the
Left
road. Like
side of
that
the
is the
road.
craziest
This is
thing.
wild.
So if you can get to that, you guys
Only
can
in
do
the
it. Driving
Bahamas.
on the left hand side of the road, driving
Train,
opposite of what we drive in
Only in
the
the Bahamas.
Americas. You'll be great
20.
in the Exuma, Bahamas, and that'll work out wonderfully for you. So that was what we did. And so the very first day we got there, we went and we just kind of chilled at a place called the Fry. So basically, it's like a place where all the locals go and they hang out there or whatever. And it's like all this food and the culture, and everybody's so nice, you guys. And like the culture is so great because they make all their money on tourism. And so it's like not people aren't mean, like they don't fight and not a lot of violence and like stuff like that. So like you could just literally go and hang out and have a good time. And it's just like, and the food is good. Let me tell you guys, I had the best red snapper I ever ate in my life at a place called the Krusty Krab. It was like a little hole in the wall, but it was the best food ever. Like the oh my god. And I've never had macaroni and cheese made with condensed milk, but let me tell y'all, the food was amazing. Oh my God. So if you can get to the Exuma, Bahamas, you're going to want to go. But yes, you're going to have to rent a car, navigate on the left hand side of the road. To me, that's the biggest obstacle. If you can do that, you can go pretty much anywhere you want to go, right? Okay. So now for all of the fun stuff. So after we did that, our very first night, I think the very first night, that's what we did, right? And then I think the second day, what do we do? Because we got there on a Thursday. And then the first day, we just kind of chilled out, whatever, whatever. But then the second day, we went on an excursion. Now, this was an excursion I had been seeing all over YouTube, all over Facebook, all over everywhere. And I had made up in my mind that I was going to do this because I heard it was the best that you could ever do. And I actually did it, you guys. And that was I swam with the pigs. Yes, I swam with the pigs. You guys, it was everything that you could have ever imagined. That's me right there, you guys, swimming with the pigs. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all, when you first pull up to the dock, that's me holding the pig right there, little baby pig. When you first pull up to the dock, right? The pigs kind of just they don't just come out because they slow to come out, right? So then they start coming out slowly, slowly, slowly. And then all of a sudden you see a ton of pigs just come out of nowhere. And it's like baby little pigs and big pigs. And the pigs are big. When I say they're gigantic, they're gigantic. Okay. The guy told us they feed them like 30 pounds of carrots a day. And then they feed them grain and all types of feed or whatever, and they feed them twice a day, and they go on that twice a day or whatever. And what you have to do is because the pigs are like they come out to the water and they're expecting the food, they try to get rough, so you have to push them away from you or whatever. And they're very strong, and if you don't move out of the way, they will like kick you accidentally with their hoof, and it hurts. Okay. But it was just an amazing experience to see an actual pig in the water swimming, because that's not native to what we're used to seeing pigs do. But they actually get in the water and they go for it because they think food is involved and it is. And it's kind of like crazy because from what they told us that the custom comes when from what I was told is basically the history of the pigs has something to do with when it was like the islands or whatever, they couldn't make it to shore. Somehow they trained the pigs to come out to get the stuff from the boats, and that's how they started swimming, because people would always bring food with them, and the pigs got accustomed to coming out and getting the food from the boats, and so they just started swimming to get the food because that's how they were eating, and they just kept doing it, and they've done it for lineages and generations. The pigs have done it, and so and they've remained doing it, and like everybody does it, even the little pigs do it. Like you put the little pig in the water, the little pig be swimming. Like it is bananas. Like it's crazy to see in real time. Now I will say the one thing that will kind of freak you out or disgust you a little bit is because after they start eating, the pigs will poop in the water. So my brother was freaked out about that. And I didn't stay in there long after they started pooping. I got back in the boat because I was like, I'm not about to, like, that's crazy. But it is amazing to see in person. The water is crystal clear, as you can see, still there. Like it's amazing to see. I mean, you cannot make it up. Like it's just great. I'm gonna play it for you guys one more time. I'm holding a baby pig there. Like it is just crazy. Like I'm gonna show you guys. It's nuts. Like you could not make it up. Like it's wild. So And we had the best cooked food, like, we had Thomas, and we had Vano, and they were like, we went with, Exuma Water Sports, and they were, like, just class. Like they just had class all the way. Very professional. Boat was very nice. We did the half a day tour. We didn't get to go see the iguanas because one of the motors went out on our boat. So they actually decided that they were going to take us somewhere close to inlet. So we ended up actually doing more like snorkeling around or whatever. And we got to see barracudas, right? My brother almost got bit by a barracuda, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But like it was just an excellent tour. It was well worth the money I paid for it. I mean, just seeing the pigs alone to me was worth the money because it was just like, and just being out on that big boat with all that breeze and all the water and all of like the shallow waters. And if you don't know, the word Bahamas comes from the word Bahar, which means shallow waters. And so you'll notice in the Bahamas is the waters aren't all deep. Most of them are shallow and it becomes deeper as the tide comes in. But like it is just an amazing experience. And so like that's my first little part of what I'm gonna share about my experience with the Exumas Bahamas. Um Exuma Bahamas. And so far my trip was I would go again. If they let me go, I'd go again. I mean, it was just great. It was great. It was great. But I have more stuff to show you guys. I got to play with a stingray. It's crazy. I got to play with a stingray. It was wild. But that's it for now. You guys, you got to do it. If you're ever thinking about a trip, you want to go to the Exuma Bahamas. It's expensive. It is expensive. And I'll talk about that in an upcoming video about how the prices are different between now and American. And they take American money or they take the Bahamian dollar, which I still do have a Bahamian dollar. Let me see where my purse is. Oh, my purse is, I have a Bahamian dollar because I want you guys to see because I brought one back from the island. See here. I got a Bahamian dollar right there. Can you see? My green screen. Bahamian dollar. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, Bahamian dollar. See? Yep, Bahamian dollar. My green screen. Bahamian dollar. But anyway, yeah, and so I brought that back to kind of keep as a keepsake, but it was great. So they take American money or the Bahamian dollar because they're equal in currency. And so that's it for so far, so good. But I'll have to come back with a part two because I had so many things that I did in the Exumas, and you guys got to stay tuned for that. But you guys like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Any questions you have that I can't, like think up off the top of my head, let me know. I'll be more than willing to answer them and let you know what I think. All right.